Hello guys, welcome today to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something very special, something a little bit different from what I've been doing, and I'm going to be talking about buying an apartment in Finland. So yeah, it's 3 years already after, when I bought my apartment. We bought our apartment is like 2020, and today we are now in 2023. So yeah, so I want to just like share with you tips on how to buy an apartment, how to navigate through what you should do, and all those kind of things. So yeah, so it's going to be like, of course, buying a house. It's usually a huge project. It's usually something like, you have to think about this couple of times. You have to really decide on this because it matters a lot. Like you're not going to buy a house if you are not planning to live there for the next, let's say, at least 4 or 5 years, because it makes no sense to like buy an apartment and after 1 year you're selling that apartment. Remember, in Finland, if you buy property, like let's say you buy a house and you sell it less than 1 year, or let's say less than 2 years, you pay huge sum of tax. Like you pay tax on that money because they think that you're using that for a business, so which is not actually the case. So you should think really like why you need an apartment. So let's say you figured this out already. You kind of think that, yeah, and you want to buy a house. In my subsequent videos, I'm going to be sharing with you my experiences. Like, do I think it's a good idea, or is it good or bad to buy a property in Finland, a house to be precise, in Finland? But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be telling you the general things you need to do, like things you should be aware of why you are planning to buy a house or when preparing to buy the house. So the first thing which stands out is always like to get the support of the bank. Like they go ahead of the bank, where bank says that, okay, hey, you are applying to buy a house. How much is the range? Let's say you figured it out and you think that you'll be planning to buy a house for like 280,000 euros, and that is in consideration of where the house is located, how many rooms the apartment or the house should it like how many rooms there are in the apartment. Do you want an apartment or a house with sauna? Those specific things, there are specific things what you really need. So when searching for the apartment, you can put those things like, okay, I want a house with sauna and all those kind of things. But hey, that's not my point. My point here is that, okay, you should first of all determine how much you want to buy the house. For the sake of this video, let's say 280,000 euros is the price that you think that you can like have a good apartment depending on what you want. The first thing you should do is like contact the bank. Never go to the company where they are selling the house, because you should know that if you make an offer to a company, and let's say, so I'm selling my apartment and you make an offer that, okay, you want to buy my apartment for 280,000 euros, and I say, and I confirm that, okay, that price is correct, or le valitaire, like the marketer confirms that the price is okay with my authorization, and you don't have that money to give me, or rather you haven't received the confirmation from a bank that the money can be given to you. If you cannot match up that offer you made, you'll probably get a fine of, maybe they said, sometimes they said, the last time I checked, it was 4%. So you have to pay 4% of 280,000 euros. So you don't have to make that mistake. The first thing you should do, always go to the bank, apply for the loan, and see what happens. Are they going to give you the loan? If yes, then you go to the next step. Once the bank gives you the authorization that, hey, okay, your loan has been approved, then you can now go and start searching for the apartment or the house you are looking for. So after that, you can now like go to websites like Oikotie and all those things to search what kind of the apartment that you kind of think that matches your need. After that, you should, after like after sort of seeing the apartment that you like, you should now contact the company where the apartment is being sold. So I'm going to go straight into like a demonstration to show you exactly what I mean, to show you exactly what you should be thinking about. For example, renovations. For example, your apartment, the whole ticket, which is called like the maintenance fee doesn't include water bills. Is the apartment, the land in that apartment, is it owned by that company or is rented? So you have to figure these things out. But don't worry, I'm going to show you all those things here, how you should look at it, what you should pay much attention on. And yeah, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned and let's see it. To continue on this the websites which I think that they are more important, or which I used to like kind of search look for my apartment. So I'm going to go straight to this one. It's called Oikotie Pistefi. Oikotie. When you just kind of like scroll there, I can kind of show you a little bit like the options. So this is like the front page of oikotie.fi. So you can sort of kind of define where you want where you are looking for the apartment in this box, and then you you can also kind of say like define if you want a kerostalo. So this is like an apartment in a building, or if you want rivitalo. Rivitalo is like a single home, or paritalo, or omakotitalo, or whatever. So these are the options. You kind of choose what you want from here, and then like you should like have in mind how many rooms do you want. So if I kind of put like one room or two rooms or three rooms, and then you kind of but I think it's always better to choose one option here, and then you can, with the amount that the bank has given you as loan, so you can put that amount here. Let's say it's 200,000 euros. You can just insert it here, and the maximum amount that you're looking, so that you kind of search the apartment in a way that it has some limits. So once we put those, we have these options. So I'm just gonna go straight to the one that I had in mind. So I'm here now. So this apartment is found in the north of Helsinki. No, this is like Laya Solo. So it's in the Heltoniemi area. So I'm just gonna go straight to what you should look at, the important things that are kind of the things that are really important. So I'm gonna shift my video a little bit down, and yeah. So these are the pictures. So you can see, you can in some situations they kind of have like they have video, so you can kind of go through those. But away from that, away from the pictures, you should sort of, this is the amount. So this is the velaton hinta. So I'm going to explain to you what that means. And this is like the hoitovastike is kind of like maintenance fee. So I'm sure you will like an apartment whereby the maintenance fee is not that it's not that expensive, because if you have a high maintenance fee, then it's kind of like very costly on you. So you want to check like how much is the maintenance fee, which is called hoitovastike. And then this is like I forgot to show you the where you can put like how many meter square, but this says like how many meter square, and this is like a first floor, and this was is like the year that the apartment was built and which part of the city it is. So this is in Helsinki Kaupunki, but in Laajasalo. Okay, so when looking after that, you have this kind of short text which you can kind of read and have more informations. But in this one, first of all, you want to check the kunto. How is the apartment? Is it in good shape, or is it in a kind of renovation, or is it in bad shape? There is always good, like to finance. So it's like okay, and there is also like a bad shape. So which shows that maybe after buying the apartment, you have to do renovations immediately. And then what these ones now like is like this means that the apartment is free immediately, so you can get the apartment immediately. You can move into the apartment immediately. You buy the place. So that is how it goes. And then the next thing you want to check is that you want to see if it was like this assume is two piece simply means that it was like was it all mining, was it owned by some people, or is it a company just selling that apartment at the moment. So you want to check that as well. And then going down, we can now see that this is the velaton hinta. So this is the amount, but there is also this mu into hinta. What does this mean? So it shows that this apartment there has been maybe some renovations. There has been some renovations or something. So that is why, and the person has been paying that because let's say if they want to renovate your apartment, you don't need to pay anything like per se. Maybe they want to renovate the balcony, for example. So they're gonna renovate the balcony, and they now tax everybody in that apartment a certain amount depending on your meter square. Okay, so I think there has been a renovation, and then the person has been paying that money, but there is still this amount left. Okay, so when you buy the apartment, this is actually the amount you are going to pay to buy the apartment, but you have to pay again this 3,000 something to in addition to this, so that you don't have anything left. But in some cases, some people usually do what they call they use this riotous vastique. So they kind of they'll take this 3,000 euros and be paying it like slowly, and it could be included in their hoitovastique, so it can actually increase the hoitovastique. Like we can see here, the vastique, it means that the person, if you don't want to be paying this amount, like if you don't pay this amount immediately, you're going to your hoitovastique in total is going to be this, because they assume that this is the amount you'll be paying for the maintenance, but this is if you calculate the difference of 534 euros minus 350 euros, that's the difference. So you're going to pay that difference every month until it gets to this amount before you complete. Then you can now start paying this normal hoitovastique at 355 euros. That's also something very important that I want you to check when you are buying an apartment. You want to be sure that the apartment they don't have any current renovations, or renovation that has taken place but they haven't finished paying that amount or the money. So you have to be very careful with all these things when you're looking for an apartment. The other thing which I think is very important as well is the talo uhtio, because talo uhtio just means like the company that kind of that is running the apartment, that is doing the maintenance and everything. It's quite important because some of these companies, they are kind of they are too, I don't know how to put it, but you should do your research on the company that is taking care of that apartment, because some of these companies, they are a little bit tricky. Of course, they are out to make money, so you have to also be very careful with the kind of company from where you are buying your osake from. Remember, you are buying shares, you are not buying the apartment, because until when you finish paying the apartment, you don't own the apartment. You are still paying your shares, so you should be careful with the company where you are buying shares from. That, I think that makes sense, or that's kind of better. Also, you want to be sure of the kind of rakenos materially. This one was betony, so you want to know what kind of material they used in building the apartment you're buying. And then one more very important thing which I kind of find very, 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 very interesting is you want to be sure that the tonti is oma. This means that the land where the apartment is built, is it owned by, when you buy the apartment, you've also paid part of the land. I mean, because there are situations where you are kind of renting the land where the apartment was built on. I think this makes sense because you if this tonti is not Oma, and then you have to pay rent on that land where the apartment is. So I'm going to show you another example where you have to pay rent on that land where the apartment is, and then you want to be, of course, for with this one, you can use the Google Map to check, are there schools beside the house? How is the bus? Is there a bus coming close to that place? Um, at a metro station or train station, all those things, they usually describe it a little below. But I think I haven't seen. So in this situation, okay, yeah, yeah. Here there is the Vesimax. So you want to be sure of how is the water payment made. In some situations, they kind of say 25 euros per person. In this situation, they indicated that it's 15 euros per person. So you want to kind of think about this thing as a package. You have to think about the whole the financial thing and really consider it very very well. And then you really have to take note about the renovations. What are the upcoming renovations? Like I mentioned earlier, you should know the renovations that has been done, and what are the renovations that are upcoming. Okay, so I'm going to show you this other apartment. I want to show you a little bit something different. So this is another apartment which is being sold in Expo. Okay, so let me just show you like the difference. You can see here as well, there is this Velaton Hinta, and there is this Munity Hinta. So this is the price that this apartment is being paid, but there is, if you calculate, there is a difference. There's an amount that you have to pay, and that amount is 4,800. So you want to be sure that this means that they have done some renovations and stuff like that, and this amount is still pending. Anybody that is buying this apartment has to pay this amount, and you have two options. Either you pay it using royalties Vasticare, so you can pay 52 euros every month, or you pay this money upfront and just pay only your Hoito Vasticare. But if you decide not to pay this 4,800 euros upfront, you will definitely pay an amount of 455 euros as your Hoito Vasticare. So you want to buy an apartment where there are no kind of loans hanging over your head for you to pay and all those things, and then not increasing your Hoito Vasticare. And you can see the previous amount for Hoito Vasticare was like in the previous apartment was 355 euros, and this one is 402 euros. So you also, of course, the point of Vasticare is depends on how big the apartment is. Sometimes they kind of consider how big the apartment is to make the price for the Hoito Vasticare. But in all, you wanna go for the least and the lowest amount for Hoito Vasticare, because this is money that you are paying for maintenance, and you will never get this money. So it's not part of your loan. It's just money you pay for example, the trash, taking off the trash and all those things. So and in this one you can see the Vesi Maxu. So the water is 25 euros per person. So imagine if you are like four of you in this apartment. If you have a family of four people, so you are paying just for water every month, you're paying 100 euros. That's a lot. So you kind of want to think about these things when you are buying an apartment. And this is like the parking, car park and all those things. But let's check if this apartment is owned, the land is being owned or is rented. Okay, so you can see here that Oma Tonti is not Oma Tonti. The Tonti or Omistus is Vuokala. This means that this house, in this apartment, the land where this apartment was built is being rented. So every year you have to contribute for the rent. So this amount, this 106,729 euros, it means that everybody in that building, they share this amount to all of you, and you pay a certain sum of money per year. Of course, you should use these are just extra expenditures that you face because of lack of information or because of lack of orientation, because this is money that you are not supposed to if you are looking for an apartment, you should avoid any apartment whereby the land is kind of is being rented, and this land is rented from Helsinki Kaupunki. So you should be very very kind of precise, or be very watchful when it comes to these things. And then this so if you are interested in this apartment per se, you have to contact this Yase Nuklan. I think it's a Swedish guy. Anyway, you have to contact him, and is being sold by this Kintesto Mile Ma. So you have to kind of like contact them and make the arrangements if you are interested in this apartment. But I think these are the things that I wanted to show you guys. And of course, you want to think if you want to like find out if there is hisi, there is lift. So just in front, just at the front page, there is always this perus theater. So these are the informations that you should really look at. And of course, you should check how the contour of the apartment here says is good. That's nice. And you should also check the upcoming renovations and stuff like that. And and yeah, I think these were the things I was planning to show you. But if you kind of notice, I'm kind of showing you more on apartments, not really Omakotitalo, because I don't have Omakotitalo, so I cannot talk on what I don't know. So I have more experience on buying an apartment, because mine is an apartment. So I'm just telling you how I did the stuffs. But in my upcoming videos, I'm going to invite someone who has Omakotitalo, so we can talk about the difference. What are the difference, and what are the expenditures, and what were the things that caught the person in, like, were surprising to him. So yeah, I hope these were important, and see you